Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to Social Science online teaching classes from Vishwamanava Residential High School. I am Mahboobi, your social science teacher. My dear students, today we are going to discuss history part of the second lesson, that is the extension of the British rule. The extension of the British rule. If you remember the chapter, that is the advent of Europeans to India, we have seen the certain European nations like the Portuguese, Dutch, British and French. They have arrived at in India and they had established business relationship with India and carried out the trade activities. Then after the slowly the French and the British in pursuit of power in the scope for the expansion the geographical area. Certain parts in India, that is Carnatic region, they fought the three Carnatic wars and also they looked the Bengal provinces. They defeated the Nawab of Bengal, Sirajud-Dowla, the Mir Qasim, and then they were granted the Diwani rights and dual government. And the continuation of the British, that is extension of the British rule in India. Understand? My dear students, in this topic, in this lesson, we are going to discuss one is Anglo-Maratha War. Second one is the consolidation of the British power. What were the policies followed by the British to consolidate their powers? Then third one is no succession rights for the adopted children. They brought him the two theory, that is doctrine of lapse policy and the subsidiary alliance. How these policies to help them to region to gain power in India. Then fourth one is subsidiary alliance and the last fifth one is Anglo-Sikh War. These points we are going to discuss in the lesson the extension of the British rule. My dear students, in today's we are going to learn Anglo-Maratha Wars. First Anglo-Maratha War, second Anglo-Maratha War and third Anglo-Maratha War. Then the consolidation of the British power. These points we are going to learn in the lesson the extension of the British rule in India in this class. Okay. My dear students, through the Carnatic Wars, the English, the British had made other European countries not only challenge them in India, then they grant complete political control over Bengal through the Battle of Plassey and the Battle of Buxar. All of you know that. Understand? Then after, by the 1765, they had gained control most of the eastern parts of India. In the year 1765, the British had gained control over the eastern part of India. Then, since the Marathas and Mysore state were dominated in the eastern and west southern part of India. In the year 1765, they had gained control most of the eastern part of India. Then the Marathas and the Mysore state were dominated in the southern and western part of India. Then Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan of Mysore along with Peshwas of Marathas, were the only impediments in the path of expansion of the British. Dear students, Hyder Ali and the Tipu Sultan of Mysore, along with the Peshwas of Marathas, only impediments in the path of the expansions of the British power. Then the others were Sikh in the northern western region. In the north and the western region, Ranjit Singh, who emerged in the later part of the 19th century, was a formidable opponent to the British. He was successful in organizing in the Sikh. In the northwestern region, the other Sikhs leader Ranjit Singh, who emerged in the later part of the 19th century, he was successful in organizing the Sikh. Then the British also waged repeated wars from the mid of the 18th century to mid of the 19th century to extend their empire in India. In the mid of the 18th century and the mid of the 19th century, extend their empire in India. Then after, they also various kingdoms with cunning policies. One is subsidiary alliance, another one is doctrine of lapse policy. Very important, the two most cunning policies. One is subsidiary alliance, second one is doctrine of lapse policy. These are the two most important cunning policies helped the British to expand their empire. Subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse policy. Understand? Then, during this period, the British waged following wars. One is 3 Anglo-Maratha wars. Second one is 4 Anglo-Mysore war. Third one is 2 Sikh wars. My dear students, now let's move on the most important concept in this lesson, that is Anglo-Maratha war. Let's move on. We discuss Anglo-Maratha wars. We can see first Anglo-Maratha war, second Anglo-Maratha war and third Anglo-Maratha war. My dear students, we are going to discuss one by one. First Anglo-Maratha war. My dear students, first Anglo-Maratha war. So in this particular we focus on when did the first Anglo-Maratha war happened. That was in the year 1775 to 1782. Understand? What are the reasons of the first Anglo-Maratha war? So, why this particular war was happened? That is the very main thing we have to focus on. Because the Marathas installed Shah Alam II back to the throne. The Mughal Empire Shah Alam II has back to throne. Back to throne means here. Because he was got pension during the Battle of Buxar. Understand? And gain because of Maratha support again came to the throne of Delhi because of Maratha support. My dear students, he was under the care of British after the Battle of Buxar. Shah Alam II gave Kora and Allahabad. The Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II gave Kora and Allahabad to the Marathas, which he had earlier given them to the British. He was under the care of the British after the Battle of Buxar. Shah Alam II gave Kora and Allahabad. That the very important thing have to remember, Kora and Allahabad, these are the two most important places given by the Shah Alam II to the Marathas, that made by the British. This resulted in the enmity broke out between British and the Marathas. My dear students, the Shah Alam II gave Kora and Allahabad. The very important thing have to remember, Kora and Allahabad. These are the two most important places given by the Shah Alam II to the Marathas, that made Britishers angry towards the Marathas. So that is very point of view. Keep it in mind. What Shah Alam II gave Kora and Allahabad to the British? What Shah Alam II gave Kora and Allahabad to the Marathas? Then, during this period, the death of Maratha strong man Mahadev Rao Peshwa was a major setback to the Marathas. During this period, the death of Marathas, strong king, strong leader, Mahadev Rao Peshwa was a major setback to the Marathas. And the death of Mahadev Rao Peshwa of the major setback to the Marathas. Keep it in mind, when Mahadev Rao II was a Peshwa, that somewhat the political control over the kingdom. So after the death of Mahadev Rao Peshwa, Narayana Rao brother came to power, and Narayana Rao, he was murdered by his uncle Raghubar Rao or Raghunatha Rao. Raghubar Rao or Raghuma, uncle of Narayana Rao. So here very major thing, keep it in mind, the Narayana Rao, the brother of Mahadev Rao, came to throne after the death of Mahadev Rao Peshwa. But he was no more because of Raghuba grant to kill him. So that the Maratha Federation brought Mahadev Rao II as the Peshwa even through Raghuba. So this resulted in the fighting for the Peshwa post. Only fighting for the post of Peshwa. Understand? These are the reasons of the First Anglo-Maratha War. Then we focus on what are the major effects of this war. My dear students, the later they had lost Allahabad to the British. The Maratha Federation, unable to sustain the war with the British, finally entered Salbai Agreement and end the war. My dear students, the Marathas lost Allahabad. British finally entered Salbai Agreement. Maratha lost Allahabad and end with the Salbai Agreement. Keep it in mind, very important. The First Anglo-Maratha War ended with the treaty, that is Salbai Agreement. Keep it in mind, very important. Then the Mahadev Rao II was named as Peshwa of Maratha family. These are the reasons and effects of First Anglo-Maratha War in the year 1775 to 1782. Okay. Okay, my dear students, let's move on another important concept in this lesson, that is Lord Wellesley and the subsidiary alliance. Lord Wellesley introduced the important policy, that is subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance was established or started in the year 1798 to 1805. This period of the administration is 1798 to 1805. My dear students, if you think why subsidiary alliance was introduced, why subsidiary alliances was introduced, very important. It was in order to bring control over Indian state. So that reason subsidiary alliance was introduced. The expansion of the British Empire took place in the larger pace after the arrival of Lord Wellesley as the Governor General of India. By this time, the powerful states of Marathas and the Mysore, see in the map, the powerful states Marathas and the Mysore had became weak and the expansion was easier. Then the Lord Wellesley followed three policies to expand the British Empire in India. One is subsidiary alliance. Second one is waging war against new state. And third one is administrating the state directly that were under the control of British. These are the three most important policies followed by Lord Wellesley. One is subsidiary alliance, second one is waging war against new states, third one is administrating the states directly that were under the control of British. These are the three most important policies followed by the Lord Wellesley. And let's move on. What is subsidiary alliance? What is the meaning of subsidiary alliance? My dear students, Lord Wellesley brought this policy into effect in the year 1798 in order to bring the Indian states under the control. What is the meaning? My dear students, this policy, it is basically a military protection agreement between East India Company and the Indian state. Very simple. It is a military protection agreement between British and Indian state. Understand? Subsidiary alliance, military protection to the native rulers. That is the main important aim of this policy. What is the main aim of this policy? That is military protection to the native rulers. That is the main aim of this policy. Then, what are the conditions of the subsidiary alliance? What are the major conditions? One is the Indian king had to keep the British army in his kingdom. The Indian king had to keep the British army in his kingdom. That is the major important conditions of the subsidiary alliance. Then the concerned state had to bear the expenses of the army and wage the soldiers, and also had to give certain revenue lands. The second major important conditions of this subsidiary alliance, that is expenses of the army, sent to the army, wages of soldiers, and have give certain revenue lands. Then third one is the king has to have a British resident in his court. The king have to British resident in his court. In his court, the king is the head. Then fourth, the king could not appoint any Europeans without the permission of the British. Without the permission of the British, the head of the court, that is king could not appoint any other Europeans. That is a major condition. Then fifth one is, in order to enter any agreement with any Indian government, the permission of the Governor General was mandatory. In order to enter any agreement, the permission of the Governor General was very important. Then the last condition, that is, in return of all these services, the company would offer protection to the state from any internal or external aggression. In return all these services, the company would offer to the protection to the state from internal external aggression. These are the major conditions of the subsidiary alliance. Then what are the effects of the subsidiary alliance? My dear students, the British could place Indian state under the control through his policy. The maintenance of the army became easy. The Indian state were subjected to economic exploitation. The Hyderabad state was the first state to enter this agreement. Keep it in mind, very important, see in the map. The Hyderabad state was the first state to enter this agreement. Then Mysore, Audh, Tanjavur, Maratha, Pune, Birar, Arcot, Gwalior and other states entered this agreement. My dear students, according to the subsidiary alliance, many kingdom has joined. The first person accepted this policy is Nizam of Hyderabad. The first person accepted this policy, that is Nizam of Hyderabad. Hyderabad state was the first state to enter this agreement. Keep it in mind, very important. Hyderabad state was the first to enter to this agreement. Then after, later the part Mysore, Audh, Tanjavur, Maratha, Pune, Birar, Gwalior and many states entered this agreement. These are the conditions of the subsidiary alliance. And let's move on another important war, that is Second Anglo-Maratha War. Second Anglo-Maratha War was held in the year 1803 to 1805. Here we know about what are the reasons for the Second Anglo-Maratha War. The reasons is difference among the Marathas family. He responsible of the Second Anglo-Maratha War. My dear students, the difference among the Marathas family was the reasons of the Second Anglo-Maratha War. What is reason? Keep it in mind, the Second Anglo-Maratha War, it is the enmity broke out between Yashwantrao of Holkar family and the Daulat Rao of Scindia family. The Holkar Yashwantrao attacked the Sindh, the Holkar Yashwantrao attacked, that is Scindia family, and that is the Daulat Rao, as well as he also attacked upon the Peshwa Balaji Rao. Understand? Once again, I repeat, what is reasons of this war? The Holkar Yashwantrao attacked, that is the Scindia family, and that is Daulat Rao, as well as he also attacked upon the Peshwa Balaji Rao. When then after, in the year 1802, the army of Holkar defeated army of Scindia and the Peshwa. Then the Peshwa appealed for help from the British. In the year 1802, the army of Holkar family defeated the army of Scindia and the Peshwa. Then the Peshwa has fully appealed request for the help from the British. Then finally Lord Wellesley got an opportunity to meddle with the affairs of the Marathas. Then the Peshwa entered the subsidiary alliance system and accepting the Treaty of Basin. Then the other Marathas families like Holkar, then Gwalior, and Boonsley form an annal or subsidiary alliance opposing this treaty. My dear students, once again I repeat, what is the main reasons? The Holkar Yashwantrao attacked, that is Scindia family, and that is the Daulat Rao, as well as he also attacked upon the Peshwa Balaji Rao. When he attacked upon the Peshwa Balaji Rao, in order to get, that is, away from the attack, this Holkar, the help of the British. Now the British had got an opportunity in interfere in the internal matter of the Marathas, and it is because of that invention of the Peshwa Balaji Rao. And now the Lord Wellesley introduced one of the most important policy, that is subsidiary alliance. Now we got an opportunity, he said that is Balaji Rao accept the subsidiary alliance policy. Then only the British help them. And now that the Balaji Rao enter into the treaty, that is Treaty of Basin. According to this treaty, Balaji Rao has accepted subsidiary alliance and British came to help. My dear students, in the year 1803 and to 1805, the Lord Wellesley accepted the armies of the various Marathas families from the year 1803 to 1805. These are the major reasons of this war. Keep it in mind, very important. Then, what are the major effects of this war? Increase the financial burden to the company. Increase the financial burden on company. Then, Lord Wellesley resigned from his post and returned to England. Then, this resulted in peace in the region. These are the major effects of this war. One is fully increase the financial burden on the company. Second, Lord Wellesley has resigned from his post and returned to England. Then third, this resulted is peace in the region. These are the very important reasons and effects of the Second Anglo-Maratha War. My dear students, the first Anglo-Maratha War, it is the conflict between the British East India Company and the Marathas Empire in India. Then second Anglo-Maratha War, it is also the conflict between British East India Company and the Maratha Empire in India. Keep it in mind, very important. The second Anglo-Maratha War was ended with the treaty, that is Treaty of Basin. First Anglo-Maratha War was ended with the treaty, that is Salbai Agreement. Don't be confused. Okay. Here, my dear students, in today's class, we have learned First Anglo-Maratha War, Subsidiary Alliance, and Second Anglo-Maratha War. In the lesson, the extension of the British rule. The next class, we are going to discuss Third Anglo-Maratha War, then the consolidation of the British power, Anglo-Sikh War, and Dalhousie and the doctrine of lapse policy. These points we are going to discuss the next class. Okay, my dear students, thank you.